afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, the only sanctioned source of comedy to entertainment. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Faymonville Approach. In the west, it's Ashablois fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, with Jaeger, Infantry, Osttruppen, and mechanized assault. Versus in the east, it is Whorunbartertown, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, the 2nd Armored Division. Here with the recon support, heavy cavalry, and rifle company up against Ashablois there. Panzerlehr, Panzerdivision there. With infantry, mine, and Panzerfaust versus infantry light vehicle buildings there for Whorunbartertown. We got a Grenadier MG42 start there for Ashablois, standard stuff. Double rifle out there for Whorunbartertown, similarly standard. And Ashablois committing here to Jaeger infantry doctrine. And as always, remember to please like, subscribe, and share, and press the bell button. Otherwise, they will come for you. Well, actually, they won't come, the videos, because YouTube's more likely just ignore it. So, little heads up there. Other Grenadiers MG42 out there for Ashablois, heading southeast here. Going straight for the southern fuel, standard stuff. With infantry being dispatched eastwards there. Probably just in case there's a big push for the south, that way opening up still a path for the northern fuel point. And Whorunbartertown committing to rifle company. So we got rifle company here versus Jaeger infantry. Interesting setup there. Seizing points here and there. Sandbags and barbed wire to help make it easier for Ashablois to defend the fuel point without necessarily getting, the opponent digging in there either. Grenadiers continuing eastwards. More Grenadiers on the way there for Ashablois. Standard stuff. Southern munitions there being seized. MG4 moving down there for Ashablois to help defend, I guess, if there's any immediate incursions. Though at the same time, need to be careful not to just leave the machine gun hanging about either too much in one point for too long. I think it's going to be crucial, in fighting engagements versus the Americans. We got Grenadiers heading eastwards there. Riflemen seizing up the center victory point there with their sandbags. Riflemen heading westwards there. Basically, probably expecting the MG4 to sort of hit southwards. There, no sandbags used there by Whorunbartertown. Very good stuff there. Northern fuel being seized there by the Grenadiers. Very good as well. Probably fast take there for Whorunbartertown. Likely a fast platoon command. Yes, indeed. Standard play there. Grenadiers moving up with Pioneer support. MG4 remains in support, or sort of defensive point there. Third Grenadiers going there for Ashablois. We got their Pioneers being held off by the Riflemen. Still grabbing the victory point in the centre. And there you go, fuel cut off. And of course, we can sort of start to see maybe a potential problem here for Ashablois as the Riflemen can just move about the MG42. That seems like Ashablois realising something might be a bit off there. Begins to reposition the machine gun. Very good. Generally just don't want to park it down like that in any one point for too long. Third Grenadier squad there for Ashablois, heading northwards there for the German army. The Panzerlehr, Panzerdivision. Third rifle squad on the way there for Whorunbartertown. Pioneers doubling back there to head elsewhere. Very good. Raisins up north a bit exposed in the moment. And there you go. Lieutenant is out. In some ways, a bit of a bold move there to take that fast here for Whorunbartertown without getting out more troops first, as the lieutenant does take some time to get out. This does mean that Whorunbartertown doesn't get quite as many falls out as fast, and does allow Ashablois that way to maybe sort of push a bit more ahead. But there you go. Ramp going for the northern fuel. But Grenadier squad they're holding up though. It's going to need some support. And the Grenadier squad number 2 is going to provide exactly that. Grenadiers moving up north here as well. Could use the machine gun to push against the rifle. We can see there Whorunbartertown has been very consistently sandbagging almost every point there. Very nice to see that. Unless you're Ashablois, since that means more work to deal with. Bit of skirmishing here. Ambush camouflage soon to be unlocked there. Lieutenant going for the fuel point as well. We got racing from North Grenadiers moving in there. Pioneers could also assist. And MG4 just remaining on spot. They're rifle moving in to the MG42's line of fire. Guess Whorunbartertown is not anticipating the MG42 and will be, in this case, not punished because they just spot it and get away. So that makes things a little difficult there for Ashablois, since the riflemen are in a good position to just be a real nuisance there for Ashablois. Unless he assumes the machine gun's never going to move again. But there you go. One command point available. Ambush camouflage available there for Ashablois. We got a 4th Grenadier squad. Looks like it will be the 4th Grenadier heavy build there with probably a lot of G for the face to fight against the riflemen. There you go, 4th Grenadier squad ready and Trent on the way there, and there you go, gets a wipe with a rifle grenade from the flank. Very good work there by Ashablois, caught Whorunbartertown off guard and soon delivered a punishing blow to the Yankees. Up north there, rifle trouble with MG42 back up with Grenadier squad there. Very good, that's usually how you want to do it anyway. So they're not using the machine gun to back up your infantry and then sort of make the push. Should definitely because there's some ambush camouflage here, and then particularly for the heavy machine guns, since that make it much easier to deal with Whorunbartertown's infantry. A rifle replacement of the weight plus an M20 utility car. M20 utility car definitely part of the American meta by now. There we go. Good to go. Adding the armored skirts as well, of course, to make it a bit harder to knock out. Ashablois going to need their luck to make a nice company up, and others are 2-2 and some pack 40s, and there go flamethrowers up here, signaling to Ashablois that Whorunbartertown has gone for a rifle companies, and there's another doctrine that offers flamethrowers, so there you are. Gunners then need to retreat, they're pretty low on health and will be easy pickings there for Whorunbartertown's forces, in particular out in the open where they currently are positioned. Big push there. And the lack of an MG42 around the centres make it much easier for Whorunbartertown just to sort of run through, highlighting a bit the issue about having an MG42 sort of that far removed from everything else. Whorunbartertown is basically just sort of pouring through here. As the dam is broken, it's going straight for the fuel point there, cutting off as many other points as well in the process. Good strong push there, but Whorunbartertown are going to go straight for the MG42 and flank that as well. Very good, likely to punish Ashablois here a bit. If really fought it, could result to a full wipe. But that would require Ashablois pushing one's luck a bit too far. Gunners move to the north here, triple squads. Like to make gunners can be been built. Medic bunker soon to happen as well for Ashablois. No gunners upgraded as of yet, probably in part because none of them in territory, but also the munitions are, I guess, going through that. And the MG42 go down. Again, bases stuck around for too long, should retreat as soon as, you know, the realization that a huge swarm of American infantry was coming in there was going to cause a problem. Just hit the retreat button there. Ashablois pushed, you know, the luck of the German army there a bit too far. Two on the way there. Grenadiers closely marked up by the advancing swarm of riflemen. Grenadiers moving up to counter them, and there you go, catching them riflemen out in the open. Over the Grenadiers in light cover should be able to do some good damage. Focusing them down also very effectively. Trying to get a wipe, they're not quite landing that one though. Grenadier squad pushed over still. 2 Grenadier squads as one rifle squad. Easy win there for Ashablois. But right now, Whorunbartertown again, due to the mistake there with the MG42, and there wasn't just of course retreating, but in the first place just having it so far removed there when there was only one, and Whorunbartertown was likely going to make a big push through the centre. That was, I think, a big mistake there by Ashablois. It's going to have to replace that MG42 most likely, and would in the long run benefit from getting another MG42 on top of that. Since Whorunbartertown, of course, has shown himself to be an aggressive infantry player, in which case having more machine guns to help slow that down is going to be a really good investment. You'll probably see when some D for the fleet as well to help fight against all of the American infantry. They do give the Wehrmacht Grenadiers there a bit of a better fighting chance. Sandbags up there to defend, very good. Jaeger commands will of course will be a very good option here for Ashablois versus Whorunbartertown and the 2nd Armoured Division. To engaging the lieutenant aggressively and actively. And I got the pioneers, their hard work with barbed wire around the sandbags here. Back here, troops in enforcing. Sniper on the way there for Ashablois. An interesting move at this point. Then with the M2 down, there are arguably less ways to sort of immediately counter the sniper for Whorunbartertown unless it goes for another one. And I do believe we get some G for the fleets going up somewhere. That other mission went for something else. Up north here, there's something last about the 2-2 Grenadiers moving ahead as well. That's the medic bank finally being upgraded a bit slow there. Grenadiers was rifling out in the open, cutting them down there, focusing them down very importantly here. Whereas Whorunbartertown meet, on the other hand, isn't quite focusing down any of the Grenadiers squads, all stuck for that in the wrong range, which is where the Grenadiers got up and get access to do some harm there. Almost get a rifle squad there, and certainly getting a rifle squad here would be big there for Ashablois. There we go, that's another rifle squad wipe there in the service of the German army. Whorunbartertown's force there getting cut to ribbons here out in the open. Grenadiers hurting them as quite well. I was going to have to retreat some of those Grenadiers soon for some healing and reinforcement. Particularly that squad, I think would be much better served right now getting healed up, and this one healed and reinforced, so to avoid A, losing manpower needlessly, but also feeding the opponent experience needlessly, which is not really something you can do there. Going losing one member, again, that could have been avoided, they just healed up. Two charging up, deal with the machine gun. Pioneers on the way for Ashablois to replace one's lost. Now opening up, Grenadiers further suffering casualties. And again, I would say needlessly. I mean, there's no reason why Ashablois shouldn't be able to treat those two right away as soon as that engagement was over the previous one. Whorunbartertown could probably consider taking up soon. Meanwhile, troops are reinforcing though. Pushing on with those Grenadiers. Really risky there. Really risky. Not what I'd again advise to any sort of newer player. I can understand the logic and extent of it, but I definitely feel like the logic there is flawed. Guys need to retreat, and again, just I feel like needless casualties. Needless casualties. I mean, that's just 3 Grenadiers that could easily just been preserved. had to been rushed back to a medic bank. We even just used the medical supplies. I mean, that could also just been an easy thing there to do for Ashablois. So definitely a bit of a slip over there. I mean, that's 90 munitions that could easily been preserved for the cost of 15 munitions. Even like, you know, Ashablois really refused to retreat them.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
2-2 there with Snipes holding with the Lieutenant of the Bazooka up to help deal with the Ashablois light vehicles, since they're definitely a thorn in the side here of Whorunbartertown, the second armoured. Up north here, going to with the vehicle crew there. 2-2 to continue taking fire there. Ashablois at some point, of course, is going to have to take up, you know, pull up some armor. And we got G43s and one Grenadier squad. Also adding ambush camouflage, which does boost the G43s when they attack out of cover. Once they got a bit of ambush, that's actually a really good thing. Basically, any unit, as long as it's just an unupgraded Grenadiers, benefits a lot from ambush camouflage. Grenadiers with G43s, Grenadiers with light machine guns, Panzer Grenadiers, heavy machine gun teams, they all benefit notably from ambush camouflage, except unupgraded Grenadiers. They lack the firepower, the rate of fire specifically, to really make much of the ambush camouflage, but anything else benefits notably. 2-2 hitting hot against that could get wiped out. Another M20 act out there for Whorunbartertown, indicating he's actually worried about that sniper, is actually willing to commit to another M20 rather than immediately taking out for, say, tanks. So
M20 ready for action.
That's definitely paying off there for Ashablois. And there we go, we got the Jaeger command squad out. Fireman infantry squad, they equipped with the G43s and already upgraded with ambush camouflage, very good. More Grenadiers, of course, will need to be upgraded with the G43s, maybe sneak in some light machine guns as well. Sniper there, getting a kill up to 7 kills. They're rifling out in the open, by the way, with no anti-tank rifling, meaning they have no way of easily dealing with it 2-2. And we got Grenadiers, of course, with ambush camouflage on the retreat pass, so there's actually a good chance we could see another wipe then Whorunbartertown once they pop out of it. There we go, ambush bonus. There we go, helping land a wipe kill there on the rifle squad, increasing the chance of getting wiped, but in this case, one man does survive. But I would say that was pretty close there for Whorunbartertown. Very close. M20 falling back there. Whorunbartertown really should prioritize they're getting out tanks before Ashablois has the chance to push ahead for tanks and just make things a lot less fun for Whorunbartertown in that department. Up north, points are being seized with the machine gun there being held force there for Whorunbartertown and the Americans. Riflemen advancing there across the open field. Going to use under fire here. Need to upgrade. Seizing points here. Seizing points here. And a pack 40 in the way there for Ashablois. The Panzer out there can only field sick. Obviously starting to get worried about Whorunbartertown, the possibility of him, you know, pushing out for tanks, which is very much a well, you know, worry to have. 2-2 they're being fixed up again. 5 kills reduction to 1. Panzer out there can only field sick almost done as well. As the war went on, though, most German infantry divisions would basically cut down on them, and even armoured divisions I think sort of went away from them simply because they were running out of tractors, sort of stuff to hold them, and they're sort of beginning to favour Panzerjacks more as well over anti-tank guns. So a little fun fact there. The anti-tank gunners generally weren't keen on that one because that meant they had to get close, whereas with an anti-tank gun they could of course fight from a nice safe distance. So a little fun note there. 20 moving out, they're going to be one from remaining in ambush cap, ready to sort of shoot any Yankees that poke their noses out too far. R8 veteran in the ace level, and there you go, Johnny. In this case it doesn't quite trigger, and that's the thing with ambush camouflage, it's actually not always consistent. It is not always fully consistent, which is a bit unfortunate. North, though, we got the 2 was the Lieutenant and the 50 MD40. We got now a 50 caliber. The Whorunbartertown, I think, could benefit from a 50 caliber down the road, and Ashablois still feel like benefit from an MD42 or 2. Pack shoots and misses. Got the MD42 they're firing away. Still no tech of Ashablois, though at this point really should consider doing it soon, at least to be able to get a Stug. Fast to counter any allied armor. Of course, got White Fossils already here, so that can make it harder for Ashablois to use the Pack 40 successfully versus Whorunbartertown doing an assault party. Say Norfolk's there. I'm guessing Whorunbartertown though is going to go for an the ECH Sherman. I was about to call the M4C not quite the same tank. The EC8 was an improvement upon that though. Gunners then need to retreat. Yeah, command squad they sort of caught up in the south, not doing too much there. Main assault here from Whorunbartertown in the centre. With the infantry being depleted, it should be easy for Ashablois to deflect this, and there you go, ambush camouflage going to be opening up on the advancing infantry. Right, sorry about that. I ran out of disk space. I apparently forgotten to clean up there. That happens occasionally, so my apologies there. All the way, Whorunbartertown has nonetheless successfully put through the centre. Again, the lack of machine guns for Ashablois just makes it easier for Whorunbartertown to just, blast through with all the infantry. So, again, an MG42 would be a really good investment there for Ashablois down the road, but prioritizing tanks in this case, or at least the Stu, is the right move here for the Germans. Up north, Pioneers moving through there with minesweepers in hand, which of course helps with repair speed now, which is always a good thing to get, but of course also just clears out in case Whorunbartertown's laid down mines, and certainly Rifle Company now with the rifle defensive structures are capable of that. Most American players still won't bother with it, but Ashablois of course showing the skill inherent, and making sure to get minesweepers just in case Whorunbartertown turns out to be one of those bastards who actually lay down mines. ECH German now halfway done here though for Whorunbartertown. Gonna need opening up the advancing major. M20 moving in there, we've got the MG42 being hold forwards as well. Gonna need the operations in the centre, very good. Sniper got 17 kills, very, very, very close to Destiny 2. Seizing the northern victory point. 2 to the west of the echelons. Close to being wiped out. And there you go, 76 men Sherman ready. They will EC8. The EC8 are referred to the suspension, which will make for a smoother ride for the Sherman crew. Doing northwards, 6 kills, Veteran 2. Yeah, command squad there's about to have an encounter with a Sherman, they like they won't like. Cover there being shattered and crushes the entire unit. Ashablois, they're too slow, but also just a bit of bad luck there. This, brutal roadkill there. Absolutely brutal. Gonna need to get that Sapolmakop fast and probably some Stoops, since a Panda 4 in a head-on engagement with the EC8 will usually lose because the EC8 has more health than the Panzer IV. Well, the armor I think isn't much better than the Panzer IV, it's sort of roughly on the same level. The more health and just better penetration, also a good rate of fire means a Panzer IV will typically lose against an EC8. So Sapolmakop, they're very good. So again, Stooks here would be the optimal choice. Can still go for a Panzer IV, but we'll have to keep that one supported with Pack 40s, which again, depending on who Whorunbartertown uses the tank, can be a bit tricky. Stooks here would in that sense again be the optimal choice for sort of cost efficiently fighting it. Gonna they're being snapped here by the Sherman. We've got 6 kills on that one now, though again 5 of them are less due to the gun and more to the driver. Trying to tell that one to your grandchildren. Granddad, did you kill any more? Yeah, but weren't you a driver? Yeah. Oh no. So yeah, anyways, Sherman they're being pulled back for repairs. Rifle season the southern fuel point. 5th cavalry on the way to Whorunbartertown to again bring up machine guns to help contain Ashablois infantry, but also set up defensive points to make it harder for Ashablois to use the infantry as well. Very good. Then he's got close to being wiped out. Ashablois here with the Panzer need to be careful not to extend infantry, as Whorunbartertown has shown himself to be very, very keen on just punishing Ashablois for any overextension there. Going for the Panzer IV. On the other hand, did get the MG42 there. That's very good. Then can get it back. That's going to be huge there for Ashablois. In part, just denied to Whorunbartertown again. But yeah, Panzer IV versus Sherman is going to be a tricky engagement there for Ashablois. Will be a bit challenging. Up north to versus the major gun is being suppressed by the point on the point by the 5th Cavalry there under Whorunbartertown's command. Pioneers charging for the centre, but straight to the rifle squad. Pack 40 being hold forward, and we got the sniper there with 25 kills. Gonna sing southwards. Lieutenant moving in there. We got 5 kills, slowly approaching Destiny 3. And we got the Panzer IV there for Ashablois. Heading for the northern point. 20 being fixed up. And we got another 5th Cavalry. So Whorunbartertown on this point is clearly intending to just have 2 machine gun teams at all times. So that way sort of slow down Ashablois infantry, just, make it easy to defend. But also they, can be quite good in an offensive, to sort of support you. In particular, the 5th Cavalry, as it is fast and more nimble than the MG42, it's even better suited for it. Though still is also better suited on the defensive because, again, it can mostly react to any movements, whereas, again, the MG42, due to its slow nature, is kind of more offensive-minded, since, again, you can't need to be able to dictate stuff. And usually, if you're defending, you're usually not the one dictating the terms of how the engagement is going. Up north there, we've got the Sherman again. Grenadiers backed up with the M20. A lot of 50 caliber fire there being fired in the general direction. The Grenadiers, there's Jürgen and Otto trying to A, run, and B, not saw themselves while running. Pack 40 there being hauled forwards. South there open up here. Can need to be careful not to extend. I'm also surprised Ashablois has not been upgrading the Grenadiers more My guess here at this point might be it's down to wanting to stay up here for the Stuka close air support. And there you go. Stuka 3 Ausführung G. Well, not Stuka, but Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G on the way there for Ashablois. Very good. Nice pick there versus the Sherman, of course. Again, good rate of fire, good range, good profile. Is holding up here. Interesting enough, they went for the ambush camouflage but no upgrades. Guessing again, just happened a bit too fast there. Might have been a misclick. And there you go, the cover vanishes beneath the Sherman 76mm gun. Which is another fun fact, the crews were not too keen on. They actually preferred the 75mm gun because it was a lower velocity gun, meaning it had better high explosive rounds, which was better for dealing with infantry. So, little fun fact there. Dealing with the 50 caliber. Pack 40 moving up. Rather than getting blasted, we got a big push of the Rifle Lieutenant 50 caliber on the M20 just hosing away. This time though, Ashablois is able to save the infantry. We do get one Stuka close air support sort of ready to provide actual air support here versus Whorunbartertown. With a proper sort of execution of it, could be quite devastating there for Whorunbartertown, who's been struggling with fuel though, but can soon go for another Sherman. Certainly that probably has been one of the successes of Ashablois so far, which probably hasn't been talked about. So, no, cancel the Stuka for another Panzer IV. Yeah. I'm wagging my finger disapprovingly at that one. I mean, again, to the extent I can understand it, because there's probably a feeling that fuel harassment has been much more successful for Ashablois now, so getting out 2 Panzer IVs could work. But in this case, it's not quite successful enough. In fact, Whorunbartertown can then get 2 EC8s out, which again would very much be in favour of the EC8s, unfortunately for Ashablois. Fortunately, though, for Whorunbartertown. Machine gun there being hosed down between the 50 caliber, with the 50 caliber then being flanked with the 2-2. Panzer IV moving ahead there. Lieutenant discovered by the Panzer IV and then decides he does not want to die and retreats. 50 caliber defending the centre victory point, at least the centre cut-off point, but it's not quite working out. Second Panzer IV ready. And there you go, another EC on the way there for Whorunbartertown. Seizing the northern point. Fun fact, after there will also be what was known as the Super Sherman, which had a 105mm gun. I believe they were used in some of the wars down in the Middle East. I think it was the 7 Days War it was called. I can't quite remember the name at the moment. I think it was 7 Days War, but I believe it was used there as a predecessor to that war. There was also another version of the Sherman, I think it was used by someone else, actually used a French gun. Sort of a bit more funny looking one there with the turret as well. Little fun side note there. Anyway, second Sherman almost done there for Whorunbartertown. He's hitting in close to veteran fleet. Gun is being hosed down with the 50 caliber. Though at the same time, a negative cover is a bit more dangerous there for Whorunbartertown in case of a flank. In this case, I suppose Whorunbartertown is lucky that Ashablois is not going for Panzer Grenadiers, since those suddenly appearing out of nowhere could really murder the 50 caliber in a matter of seconds. Until they're charging straight ahead, backed up with the Sherman. Trying to rush the snow, but a bit too cautious there. Then again, I can understand not wanting to suicide the M20 pointlessly. And there goes Sherman ahead here. Going for that 2-2 direct into the Panzer IV though. Second Sherman up, and there you go. We got air support called in to try and break up this assault. Good response there by Ashablois. Might want to use more offensive, but in this case, defensive it also works out nicely. Panzer IV charging on the flank. Sherman then taking air fire there from the Stuka Kanonenvogel. Panzer IV down to half, and there goes Sherman bouncing off shot there from the Panzer IV. So there we go, both Shermans managed to get away, but at the same time, also critically for Ashablois, both Panzer IVs managed to survive. Had not been for their support, the Panzer IVs would have lost. I mean, that again sort of highlights again just these EC8s are, notably better than the Panzer IVs, for not exactly a big cost, and it's kind of why you want Stuks, they want to take from Panthers. Then he's the man to get off of Panzer fast in the M20, which is very close to the ace level. Got infantry in there trying to outflank the position here by Ashablois, very good. Sherman's going to need repairs, but of course they can do so swiftly. Ashablois in this regard has a bit of an issue and is looking to rectify it rapidly though, which is good by going for more pioneers, because one pioneer squadron in the minesweeper is not going to be sufficient to fix up 2 Panzer IVs, whereas the Americans again can fix up their tanks much faster with the crews. So there's a bit of a race against time here for Ashablois, because if Whorunbartertown can just get off another big armoured assault here before Ashablois' tanks are ready, it could get ugly. In this regard, going for another Pack 40 does make sense, but it's going to struggle to catch up with the tanks. So it's going to really require then Whorunbartertown to just charging the tanks mindlessly, or pulling off some really clever tactics to take out those Shermans with the packs. But it's going to help, though. It's going to help. It's going to make it harder for Whorunbartertown and just make a head-on run against Ashablois and the Panzerdivision. Another 50 caliber, though. That's a lot of machine guns. There you go. Telemark went off and taking out the M20. Good work there for Ashablois. Finally got rid of that one, though. I would say it managed to survive for quite a bit of time there before that Telemark took it out. And there you go. Whorunbartertown making another run there on Ashablois' base. Running into the Pack 40, he decides to break off, spotting the other Pack 40 as well there. I think that's the right decision. Could have thrown in some smoke here, Whorunbartertown, in preparation of the anticipation. We'll see them done some reconnaissance rifle first and smoke in, but either way breaks off fast. So next you got, of course, the Pack 40s do serve the purpose, which is telling those German tanks to piss off. Of course, again, they can't easily pursue and finish them off, so I mean that's sort of the other side of the thing there. But I imagine for Ashablois, just ensuring that the tanks don't get immediately wrecked by the Shermans is a good enough start. They'll still think some Stuks would be a very good addition for Ashablois and the Panzerdivision. Scott on the way, lightly in response to the Pack 40 to help deal with those using artillery. Not a bad idea, of course. Not a bad idea at all. Note 50 covers are being dispersed up around the northern side there to help defend the victory point and the fuel point. And here what Ashablois is doing is trying to clear up lines of fire for the anti-tank guns to make it harder for the Shermans to sneak up on them. Or any infantry, really. So, of course, that tactically makes a ton of sense there for Ashablois. Good move. Up north here, Gunnery's got a 50 cover there, which could catch in a bad spot. But then again, the 50 cover could also be caught in a bad spot against the Grenadiers, and that seems to be what's happening. So there you go. M8, A1 Scott out there. Both Shermans good to go once more for Whorunbartertown. Ashablois just goes for more Panzer IVs. I mean, if you can build up a sufficient sort of mass of Panzer IVs, it shall work, but again, it could also backfire. But for now, triple Panzer IVs versus 2 EC8 should work with some good maneuvering. Though, of course, any mistakes could easily turn things in favour of the EC8s. Pack 40's not quite in the sort of supporting range. There you go. Pioneer spotting for the Panzer IVs, allowing to get off the first shot. But there you go. Shermans should hit back, though. Not quite the Panzer IVs. And there you go. Pack 40's all arriving. Whorunbartertown, of course, realising where the packs were last time, realises this is a danger zone and gets the Shermans out fast because he doesn't want them to be target practice for the anti-tank gunners, which is a really sensible thing to do. Push to the south, the infantry backed up by the Scot. Grenadiers hiding in ambush. We've got 11 kills there on their name, on their kill list. And there you go, the quality with the Scot and the rifleman here. Fill up north, we've got them before defending the fuel point here. No ambush camouflage. Would benefit from it nicely. In this case, you probably get the Scot to bombard the area. They'll smoke it. Either of those two could work out and allow a push for the fuel, but there you go. Ashablois committing the 3rd Panzer IV here to a lone southern move there. Both EC8s away there, that's not a bad move at all. And is forcing Whorunbartertown to move the tanks southwards, and looks like Ashablois expecting that next to move the tanks. If Ashablois quick, clever, the tanks were moved up here to cover up the possible retreat path of the tanks. And that might sort of catch them in a pinch maneuver, and then particularly combined with the Stuart close air support, could very well destroy all of Whorunbartertown's armour here. But it does look like it's going to be a head-on commitment instead of a good flank, which again I feel would be much better here. And a missed opportunity not to. Tanks falling back, we got Grenadiers versus the 50 caliber up close, they're being absolutely murdered. Whorunbartertown quickly pulls away there to avoid destruction. Again, missed opportunity there by Ashablois. Again, I think just moving up here and then here instead of getting behind the tanks will work out well, in particular again combined with the Stuka close air support. That probably would have been a lethal crossfire that would have taken out all of the armour there. Whorunbartertown probably should commit to a 3rd Sherman here and begin using smoke a bit more. Also, tons of ammunition. No mines or anything like that being laid down. That's definitely a bit of an oversight there by Whorunbartertown. Bit of an oversight. Panzer IV, they're being fixed up. Very good. Intending to fire from the Panzer IVs out in the open. Another Scot for Whorunbartertown. That's an interesting pick at this point. I'm guessing again Whorunbartertown is starting to get really, really paranoid about those Pack 40s and want them dead, but I still feel like just another Sherman just throwing down smoke screens when attacking would work just as well, if not work better in some cases. But there you go. Sherman charging hit the shot from the Panther bounces off the armour. Got the double pack full setting up here, and they will be able to immediately just pepper the Shermans there with pack fire. Betty 2 Sherman almost ace over there. Go Rob score taken out with the Panther 4. Far below there to Whorunbartertown. It's down to just 2 infantry squads now versus Ashablois 3. Second squad almost done. Panther 4 might go for the Scot here, which is quite exposed there. Good move there by Ashablois. Nice and aggressive. Looking to exploit any weakness by the opponent, and that's exactly what's happening there. Sherman's trying to hit the close to new fleet. Panther 4 shoots, misses. And there you go, ace level Sherman. No smokes in the pack 40s though. Again, I mean, with the packs this is bunched up, I mean, the smokes in there I think will be quite effective. And there you go, air support called in. The Stuttgart, Kanonen and Vogelen are dispatched to rain down death, and that's going to be the death of the EC8 for sure, one way or the other. That is 1 tank down, only 1 tank to go, plus the 2 Scots, and with this, Ashablois senses victory is within reach and goes for a killing blow there into the base of Whorunbartertown. Panther 4's charging ahead, in 2 Scots, easily exposed. Vehicle crew there also being blasted by the Panther Force. Pack 40 also moving up here to get within range. You see it there. Trying its best to hold back the German tanks, but it's not lasting much longer with the Scot there, which was Bandon's ability to hold up as a shield gone. Second Scot's going to go down tank here, trying to outmaneuver the Panther Force. Still got the Pack 40s covering up here, exposing the rear a bit dangerously there. Lieutenant flying bazookas, but they're bouncing off the side arm of the Panther 4 here. Sherman they're down to half health, 2 against 1. The Panther 4s will win this. And there you go, Sherman almost down here. Panther 4s keep blasting. Got white phosphorus finally called down here by Whorunbartertown. Sherman explodes, and with that, Whorunbartertown is very much at the tender mercies of Ashablois, as his entire base is now open like an oyster. And that's the second Scot down, and no armour left here. Panther 4 they could go down to the bazooka and the tank roughmates. Ashablois there might have pushed the Panzer there a bit further than can actually hold. Still, the damage and casualties inflicted on Whorunbartertown right now is significant. I'm also surprised there's been no weapon racks. BARs and bazookas just being upgraded on Mars could also have been, I think, a very good pick there for Whorunbartertown versus Ashablois. So that's definitely another, I would say, oversight there by him. Now the oversight, Ashablois immediately committing to another Panther 4. Ashablois could go for another EC8 soon. I mean, Whorunbartertown could go for another EC8 soon, but even then that's going to be a bit tricky there for Whorunbartertown to make much of an impact with all those anti-tank guns and Panther 4s by now. Well, Whorunbartertown needs to get some weapon racks going, get some BARs and some bazookas, and there you go, the Major is down. Or face down, in fact, in the dirt. He is quite, well, dead soon enough. Lieutenant on the bazooka, trying to do some damage there, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. Ashablois is in a very strong position there. We've got 120 versus 377. Theoretically, Whorunbartertown can maybe still make a swing back until he sort of briefly hold the victory points for long enough. But right now, it does seem like Ashablois is not letting go. Now that a good grip around Whorunbartertown's neck has been found. No matter how much Whorunbartertown, how much, yeah, he just kicks and bites and punches Ashablois there. Bazooka back on the lieutenant. Moving ahead there for the centre. Ashablois has abandoned most of the field for the time being. Finally adding ambush camouflage as the MD42. Very good, very good. Sees no centre victory point. Panther 4's being fixed up. Rifleman getting sniped. Bazooka there versus the Panther 4. Anti-tank rifle as well, the damage in the Panther 4 there for Ashablois. Bit unexpected there for Ashablois, I imagine. That'd be such a response ready already. But there you go, pushing to the centre. Going to be moving in with G43s and faith in the fatherland. Good go for Stutt. In theory, there was enough command points, but a bit too many units there for Ashablois. And there we go. Another EC8 for Whorunbartertown. Northern point being seized there by the Grenadiers. Very good. There we got the recruiting from the south. And there you go, ambush enemy forward with the vehicle, quickly routing it. Very good. Might want to reposition it just in case they try and move up with some artillery or anything like that, so it becomes a bit harder just to immediately neutralise. Easy, almost done the Whorunbartertown. We're down to 120 versus 346. Panther 4's almost fixed up as well there for Ashablois and the Panzerlehr Panzer Division. There we go. Another EC8 out, adding the 50 caliber on top. And looks like Ashablois getting ready for another armoured thrust against Whorunbartertown's throat. Showing about there. Need to be careful, otherwise we're going to get caught here by Ashablois' armoured platoon, and it's not going to be pretty silent. There you go, man, to get the first shot in here though. Other tanks moving away there. Panther 4 number 1 there backs off. Or number 3 more likely backs off against the EC8. Other 2 tanks moving in. Up north we got machine gun being overwhelmed here by Whorunbartertown's machine gun and the infantry. Coming into the flank here with the Panther 4's probably baiting a response here from the EC8. Since again, otherwise Whorunbartertown risks losing the units here. And there you go. Panther 4 vehicle, or Lieutenant Vehicle with it blasted. Panther 4 getting Infantry 2. EC8 moving in there. Panther 4 should be able to respond immediately to that one. 300 points left there for Whorunbartertown versus Ashablois, 120. Lieutenant almost taken out. There we go, going for it. Now the EC8 is out in the open. Could also just destroy the units inside the base since they're looking very rat for being murdered. And there you go, bazooka dropped again by the lieutenant.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Lieutenant rushing in straight into the Panther 4's line of fire, and there you go, white, and the other bazooka drops. Not that Ashablois can really grab it, but at this point I think it's safe to say it is GG. Whorunbartertown has no chance of now getting back here versus Ashablois and the German army. So there we go. There we go. Nice play there by Ashablois. Certainly I would also say a part of it, of course, the mistakes that Whorunbartertown made in terms of resource expenditure. I mean, too many munitions not being spent, that was definitely, I think, a mistake there, in particular with mines being available. Weapon racks have always been a great support there. But of course, at the same time, tactically also made some errors. And I definitely feel like that second Scott was also an issue alongside the lack of smoke there. Ashablois, I'd say, handled things well. Could have gone for another machine gun faster. But beyond that, I mean, you know, handle things well. Some good manoeuvres, good flanks and all that. So, you know, good play there by Ashablois versus Whorunbartertown. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family. But don't tell your enemies. And like we do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. This is a pure link to cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.